欢迎来到我的频道。这次我会来讲解一下 MacBook 2015，就像标题你们看到的一样。首先我们来讲一下它的定位。首先，这只是最基础的轻薄本，不能用来重度使用，但是提供了最佳体验。MacBook Air 相比于它更适合普通用户的综合使用，因为性能更强，而且屏幕更大。而 MacBook Pro 就是给专业用户使用专业软件的生产力。我们看一款笔记本的时候，第一时间映入眼帘的肯定是外观，难看的话会导致消费者看一眼就直接放弃考虑，而能做到让消费者刚看到就注定是它了的设计，可能会让设计师蒸发些脑细胞。所以 MacBook 2015长什么样呢？我们先来看图。那么它采用了全金属外壳，手感极佳，而且非常结实。我们可以看到背后的发光苹果 logo 被取代成了镜面金属，最后搭载了一块12寸的屏幕，对于这种笔记本来说已经算大的了。那么苹果历史上最轻薄的笔记本搭载了什么接口呢？一个 USB Type-C 和一个耳机孔就没了。所以都说了这是入门级轻薄本，不过这耳机接口可是极为先进。接着来讲一下它的特点吧。第一，屏幕，这是苹果的 Retina 屏幕，所以分辨率达到了2K 的标准，并且色彩的准确性也是相当的高。二，重量，这台笔记本都说了轻薄，那肯定也不能重到哪里去。虽然有金属机身，但是重量却不到1000克。3 macOS， 个人认为呢，系统也算笔记本的特点，所以这台兼容 macOS 的笔记本自然也是购买的考虑因素。这款笔记本也采用了无风扇设计，它在工作的时候会完全静音，所以说呢，我觉得这点非常棒。但是呢，也因为没有风扇，所以它的温度可能会比其他的笔记本高一些。4. 续航，苹果说这是他们做过的最省电的笔记本，无线上网时间能达到9小时。要记住，这样的机身可没多少空间留给电池。5. 扬声器，一般的笔记本扬声器可能就听个响，而 MacBook 的支持立体声，很明显是研发过的。我觉得家里的老 Mac 音质都比手机好多了。6. 键盘，为了做到这么轻薄，肯定不能再用以前的旧剪刀式了，所以苹果研发了更薄、更稳定的第一代蝶式键盘，而且放在这个笔记本上没有压缩，是全尺寸。7. 接口，苹果第一次在自家笔记本上面采用了 Type-C 接口，淘汰掉了前途有限的 Type-A， 还可以为以后的 Pro 提前布局。都说了，这台笔记本采用了一体式机身，所以呢，它的可回收性是很高，并且也非常坚固。你摔一下的话，它不会轻易散架。8. 触控板，我们都知道苹果的触控板是公认最好用的，而 MacBook 2015首先搭载了新一代的 Force Touch 触控板，面积更大了，而且压感从机械式的咔咔响变成了使用 Taptic Engine 的震动反馈，能使每个角落都按下去，还增加了 3D Touch 的功能。9. 键盘背光，在晚上打字的帮助非常大，没有背光的笔记本就很鸡肋，而因为这次使用新键盘的缘故，就不会再漏光了。接着来讲一些这款笔记本很好的设计。首先是采用了超薄屏幕，厚度不到1毫米，并且可以节省更多的电，还采用了堆叠电池来填充倾斜的机身。主板呢，因为取消了风扇，又做了新设计，所以非常小。最后处理器采用了 Intel Core M， 功耗只有5瓦，所以非常省电。总结，这对于笔记本来说绝对是一次革命性的更新，但是这不是给创作者使用的，因为以后还会推出搭载同样技术的新款 Pro。最后我给你们看一下苹果对于这款笔记本的发布会和详细配置。这款笔记本充分体现出了苹果对于细节的追求，并且把用户体验做到了极致。说实话，我还没了解这款产品之前，还不知道6年前的电脑可以这么牛。那么这期视频就结束了，拜拜。
And if you look at notebooks, the numbers are even more telling. Last year, the industry shrank, and the Mac grew over 20%. This is phenomenal. And when you're out in the wild, you will see Macs everywhere now. They're in schools, they're in businesses, they're in coffee shops and airports, and hopefully they're in your living room. But the definition of portability has changed in the last several years, led by iPhone and iPad. So we challenged ourselves to take everything that we had learned in designing iPhone and iPad and do something incredibly ambitious and bold. We challenged ourselves to reinvent the notebook. And we did it. And here it is.
You gotta know I'm feeling love. You gotta know I'm feeling love. You gotta know I'm feeling love. Made it go. I'll never love another one, another you. It's gotta be love. I said it.
And here it is. It is unbelievable. Can you even see it? I can't even feel it. There it goes. I'd like to invite Phil Schiller up to tell you all about it. Phil?
Thank you, Tim. Oh, good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to tell you all about this incredible new MacBook. It is the most extreme and efficient notebook we have ever created. And it took reinventing every technology in it to deliver something this amazing. And it absolutely looks gorgeous from every angle. The new MacBook weighs just 2 pounds. Yes. This is the lightest Mac we have ever made. And even at its thickest point, it's just 13.1 millimeters thin. That's the thinnest Mac we have ever made as well. In fact, the previous thinnest Mac, here it is, the 11-inch MacBook Air, as you can see, the new MacBook is 24% thinner. That is a huge difference. And as you look around at every angle, you see Well, this is an all-metal enclosure. The team has integrated the antennas right into the enclosure. It's the first time we've been able to do it that way. And when you open it up, you're struck by one of its most dominant features, that keyboard. It has a full-size keyboard. It goes all the way to the edge. That actually defines the size of the notebook, that keyboard. And it's not just any keyboard. It is an all-new keyboard. As you move to a thinner design, it took an entirely new kind of invention to make it a beautiful keyboard. So the team studied how current keyboard technology works. Here's a slow-motion video of a customer typing on a standard keyboard. And as you see, as the keys get pressed, they're a bit wobbly. In fact, if you press them on the side, they start to bottom out. That's because they're based on a mechanism called a scissor mechanism. And there was a time when that was great. But now there's something new. Our team invented a butterfly mechanism. This butterfly mechanism is built of a single assembly, and it's supported by a stainless steel dome switch. And that all adds up to a key that is much more precise and accurate. In fact, it's 4 times more stable than that scissor mechanism, yet is 40% thinner, allowing us to make a thinner keyboard. And we also made the keycap larger, making it even easier to strike and get a beautiful typing experience. So this is a slow-motion video of typing on the new keyboard, on the new MacBook. The keys are much more precise, much more accurate, even if you strike them on the side. It is a beautiful keyboard, even in the dark. We have now created a new lighting system for the backlight with an individual LED for each key. This allows it to be thinner and more precise in its illumination. So that's the first new feature on the new MacBook, an all-new full-size keyboard. Well, the perfect size display to match to that full-size keyboard is a 12-inch display with full edge-to-edge cover glass. And to be beautiful, of course, it's a Retina display. A Retina display with 2304 by 1440 pixels. If you do the math, that's just over 3.3 million pixels. It is a beautiful display. The panel is just 0.88 millimeters thin. This is the thinnest display we've ever built into a Mac. And those pixels have a larger aperture for light. What's that about? Well, an individual pixel is made up of red, green, and blue subpixels. The team has been able to miniaturize electronics and move them out of the way so more light comes through each pixel. So at the same level of brightness, it actually consumes 30% less energy. So it's our thinnest display, our most energy efficient display. It truly is the best display we've ever built onto a Mac. Next up, the Trackpad. This is an incredible feat of engineering. A traditional trackpad is hinged at the top, and as you click on it, it moves like a diving board. So the top end is stiffer and the bottom end is softer. Well, not with this trackpad. We call it the Force Touch Trackpad. It has a glass multi-touch surface, but built underneath it are 4 force sensors. And for the first time in a trackpad, our Taptic engine that you've heard about with Watch is built into here as well to provide feedback of your clicking. This is an incredibly thin, capable trackpad. And for the first time, you can click anywhere and get the exact same feel over the entire surface. It's not hinged like a diving board. And that feel, because it's managed in software, you can adjust it if you want to have a stiffer or softer feel to your trackpad. But what it can do is so much more than that. Those force sensors sense a range of pressure from your lightest click to a deeper press. And we've created a new gesture for those deeper presses. We call them a force click. So how does that work? Well, in OS X, when you force click, for example, on a Word in a browser, you automatically get a Wikipedia lookup of that. If you're in email and you see an address, you force click on it, and you automatically get a map that pops up with a location. Maybe someone has invited you and sent you a date and time. You force click on that, and it automatically creates a calendar entry. You can even force click on a file in the Finder, and automatically get a preview of the contents of that file without even opening the application. And this is a range of pressure that the sensors can sense. So in drawing applications or signing your signature, you get a much more accurate illustration based on that pressure. If you're watching a movie in QuickTime or a video, you can press deeper on fast forward, and the deeper you press, the faster it goes. I got that in just 2 takes. So this is the new trackpad in the new MacBook. It's engineered like no trackpad ever has before. So let's take a look inside, because what's on the inside is just as innovative as these features we're looking at on the outside. This is our latest unibody architecture. Unibody architecture creates the structure out of the enclosure, and you can mount devices and components directly to that structure, like that great trackpad. Let's put the logic board inside it. This is the logic board of the 11-inch MacBook Air. Obviously, it was quite an engineering feat to make that fit inside the new MacBook. Well, our engineering team took on 2 really huge challenges with this. The first, the device with the circular shape on the right, well, that's a fan with vent support. Well, the team designed this new MacBook with removing all fans and vents to make it the first fanless MacBook ever. Yes. So it operates silently. So here's that logic board now without the fan. What our engineering team did is remarkable. That's the new logic board inside the MacBook. They've miniaturized it. It is the densest logic board ever in a Mac. It is 67% smaller. That is 1/3 the size of the previous smallest logic board. This is insane. It's powered by an Intel Core M, 5th generation, 14 nanometer process. You can configure it with speeds up to 1.3 gigahertz, which can be turbocharged, running up to 2.9 gigahertz. And yet all that performance just consumes 5 watts. It's incredibly energy efficient. So now we can fit that incredible minute logic board right inside the new MacBook. So what do we do with the rest of that space? We fill it with batteries. This uses Apple's asymmetric battery technology. You can see the cells are different sizes. But the team went so much further with the battery chemistry in this new MacBook. Traditional cells are rectangular, not only in the X and Y, but in the Z thickness as well. Well, that doesn't work very well if you have a product this thin, this contoured. If you try to fit a rectangular cell in it, you see you're left with a lot of empty space. And we don't want to ship air, we want to ship batteries. So what the team has done is amazing. They've created the batteries in sheets that can be terraced with contoured shapes that fit the contours of the MacBook's enclosure. So now you can fit battery technology inside it like this. It's far more efficient. In fact, we can get 35% more battery within the same space by these new contoured cells. And that allows us to deliver all-day battery life in the new MacBook. So that's up to 9 hours wireless web, up to 10 hours iTunes movie playback, and so much more. It is an incredibly innovative notebook on the inside as well as the outside. Now, how do you connect with the world? Well, this is our vision for the future of the notebook. And the only intelligent vision of the future of the notebook is one without wires. We don't have to plug up cables to connect to things. That's why we have both dual stream 802.11 AC and Bluetooth 4.0 built in. With all the great new advancements in OS X Yosemite and continuity, you can connect and share like never before wirelessly. You can connect peripherals. You can connect to printers. You can share content. Because this is the vision of the future of the notebook, one of extreme portability. When you want to watch content on your TV, you do it with AirPlay. When you want to share files, you do it with AirDrop. When you want to get on a cellular network, from your MacBook, you can initiate a hotspot on your iPhone. When you want to kick back and listen to music, you can do it wirelessly with some very cool Beats speakers and headphones. Now, of course, there is a time when it's really convenient to plug in a cable. That's when you want to charge quickly. So we do have a port on here for power. And the team decided if we're going to have a port on it, let's make the most versatile connector we've ever put in a notebook. And sure enough, they did. One connector supports USB data, DisplayPort, power, HDMI, VGA, all through one connector. The technology behind this is a brand new standard called USB-C, and Apple, along with a number of other companies, have all worked together to create this new industry standard, and you're going to see it appear in more products. But first, you see it here on the new MacBook. Here's the cable for USB-C. It's a third the size of a standard USB cable. It's easier to use because it's reversible. No more trying to dive underneath and figure out which way it goes. And it's the most versatile connector. You'll see adapters from Apple, as well as many third parties to support all these different interfaces all through one connector. So this is the new MacBook with its incredible keyboard, with its butterfly mechanism, its new multi-touch trackpad that's force sensitive, a perfectly matched 12-inch Retina display with over 3.3 million pixels, our most dense logic board ever, incredible new contoured battery technology, all packed into the thinnest, lightest, most beautiful notebook we have ever made. It comes in silver, space gray, and a stunning gold. Yes. We're really proud of the fact that this is the most environmentally friendly notebook we've ever made. Energy Star 6.1, EPEAT Gold, arsenic-free display glass, mercury-free, BFR-free, PVC-free, the first time in a Mac, beryllium-free, and of course, highly recyclable. And I think the team's probably proudest of this next one. It's also the world's most energy-efficient notebook. We really love and couldn't be prouder of this new MacBook. And I have a brief video to tell you more about it.
The new MacBook is the result of a collective obsession to simplify its essential components to create the most efficient design possible. It's a product that couldn't exist without invention across many disciplines. A full-size keyboard is the most familiar, comfortable, and accurate typing platform. It defined the width of the new MacBook. To make it thinner and more precise, we created a sturdy, single-assembly butterfly mechanism. Combined with a new stainless steel dome switch, this reinforces the keyboard's balance and stability. Each individual key is now lit by a single LED. This enables better, more deliberate illumination. A Retina display delivers the very best viewing experience. To engineer the thinnest Retina screen for a Mac, we've refined every component, from the glass down to the pixels. It delivers the vivid brightness and performance you'd expect, but in a design that's thinner, lighter, and 30% more power efficient. We've designed a force-sensing, multi-touch trackpad. This adds a new dimension of interaction. Touch sensors make the entire glass surface active. Force sensors measure a wide range of pressure, from the lightest tap to the deepest press. The pressure you apply activates an electromagnet that responds with tactile feedback. So now, instead of just seeing what's happening on the screen, you feel it too. To make all-day battery life possible, we have developed new battery technologies. We actually changed the construction and internal chemistry of the cells, which are now manufactured in discrete sheets. These sheets are stacked in a terraced structure that was developed along with the external enclosure. The design allows for 35% greater battery capacity in this compact space. To maximize performance, we took an extreme approach to miniaturization. Components were optimized and engineered to fit together to create the highest density Mac logic board yet. It's actually 2/3 smaller than any we've designed before. A fundamental goal was to eliminate the need for vents, fans, or any moving parts, allowing it to operate in silence. By consolidating the antenna with the bottom case, we were able to design an integrated aluminium hinge. This innovation, along with its unibody enclosure, makes this the first all-metal MacBook. This product is not only thin and light, its advanced wireless technologies make it truly portable. When you actually need to plug in, the new USB Type-C connector is a single port for charging, video output, and data transfer. The result of all of this is a product that's only 13.1 millimeters thick and weighs just 2 pounds. To create the new MacBook, we were uncompromising in its design and engineering. We set a new standard for portability while enhancing its fundamental components to deliver what we believe is the best MacBook yet.
Hashtag MacBook Lust. The new MacBook starts with 12.1-inch Retina Display, a 1.1 gigahertz Intel Core M, a large 8 gigs of internal memory, and a large 256 gigabyte flash storage device at just $12.99. Yes. And for those who want even more, you can get a faster processor and twice that internal storage for just $15.99. It is absolutely incredible, beautiful, and our most advanced notebook ever. It will begin to ship in a number of countries in just a month, April 10th. And the new MacBook joins the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro to make this our best notebook line